And I remember she used to wake us up in the morning na saka zip. Anakuja nafungua mlango na wafunua. Anawambia, bibi za governor bado mmelala. Sleep, continue sleeping. Your father is the president of Kenya. You know, just that African mom sarcasm. It was so hilarious, by the way. Guys, let me tell you something. When I was coming up with this episode, I cried a whole river. Is it a river really? An ocean. And no one prepares you to live without a person that has brought you up for 24 years, for 40 years, for 50 years.
And I'll never forget what you done for me. And I'll do my best so make you proud of me. She said, girl, I just want you to have a better life than me. She said, get a good chance.
Today I have a bit of mixed feelings, which is totally okay and totally normal, because today is 12th of May 2024 on a Sunday, and today is a day where we get to celebrate our mothers. Today is the International Mother's Day, and the reason why I have mixed feelings is because today's episode I want to dedicate it to my late mom, Teresia Waidera Mungai, aka Terry. Yeah, I want it to be a tribute to her for the great woman that she was, the kind woman that she was. Yeah, I'm dedicating it to her, and today I want to be telling you more about how she was, what she was doing at that moment, the lessons that I learned from her, and the impact that she had in our lives and in lives of others. And at the end of the episode, I'm going to be able to read a tribute to her on Mother's Day, and I hope she's smiling from heaven. Yeah, and I hope honestly that she's going to like this episode, and I hope you as my viewers, you are going to like this episode. And before I even begin, please allow me to take this opportunity to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You are doing a great job. Let no one tell you otherwise, because you are doing all you can for your kids, okay? And I want to also wish a happy Mother's Day to the mom-to-bees and the people who have wanted to have child, but it's still not yet time for that. I want to tell you to hang in there and to tell you that God has a plan, okay? And let me take this moment also to talk to the society that gives a lot of pressure to women, yeah? At 25, as newlyweds, asking them, when are you going to have a kid? Let me tell you guys, having a kid is not as easy as you think, all right? There's so many people out here struggling to have kids, yet they're doing it in silence, and yet you go out there and ask them such questions, yeah? It's unethical. Just know that it's unethical to ask someone, when are you going to have a kid? And just even know that there's some people out there who are child-free, that they don't want to have kids, okay? And let me tell you, there's so many family dynamics. Even people who don't have kids, they still count as a family, okay? It's a high time as the society to know that and appreciate that, okay? So, who was my mom? So, my mom was born in 1964, June. She would have turned 60 next month in June. She passed on in 2018, 28th of October, and she was laid to rest on 6th November 2018. Guys, please, you have to bear with me. I've never talked about this story before, so if it gets emotional, you might as well cry with me, okay? Yeah, so she was born in Kangema. She went to primary in Kangema. She went to Chanya Girls. She went to KMTC in Mombasa. My mom was a nurse. Yeah, so she started working at Murang'a District Hospital. Then she went to Kandara Health Center. And then later on, she went to Kaguthi Dispensary. That was her last work station, okay? So I'm going to be telling you about a few of the memories that I remember so well with my mom. I've had so many memories of my mom, but I want to tell you just a few that I really hold on to my heart till today, okay? So one of the memories is after KCSE. I remember, guys, you know, the way after the results are released, the way we usually check with our phones, unatuma ka message, and then the message comes back almost instantly. So we were in such a situation in 2012 with my mom after KCSE. So tulituma message. I remember tulikuwa tunaambiana tusitume sahi because we were so anxious. I was just an average student, so I don't think my mom was expecting me to really be uko juu kabisa. Yeah, she did all she could to encourage me to get good grades. So nakumbuka mama akiniuliza tutume message. So I grabbed the phone from her because she was delaying that process a lot. I remember sending the text, alafu ikarudi like after 2 seconds, you know. And mom was like, let's not check that message now, because she was so anxious, okay? And I remember mama kinikimbiza, nikimwambia naangalia, mimi nitaangalia because we can't change the results, zishatoka. So I remember tukikimbizana kwa nyumba just round the house, mama kiniambia pana usiangalie sahi, wacha tuangalie jioni. It was such a circus by the guys. So I remember I finally like ran off with the phone na nikaangalia, and I started jumping up and down because I had really passed well, okay? So I remember mama kiniambia umepata nini, kwani umepata nini? So the moment she saw the text and she saw that I had gotten an A-, she was so happy. She was so joyous. Like, it was so nice. I remember we knelt, we prayed. Alafu tukatoka mbio, tukaenda kwa one of her friends who had a shop, akanibaya soda. Like, it was such an awesome moment. She didn't expect me to get an A-, and she did not even expect me to get an A in math. So it was so joyous, okay? Another moment that I remember with my mom was Christmas. Guys, kwetu Christmas ilikuwanga sherehe, and we used to just be the three of us. So we used to wake up, tunapika chapati, tunapika mokimo, it was just a crazy moment, okay? But I think my mom believed in celebrations a lot, yeah? So we could cook, we could get matching outfits, we could maybe go out and take photos, or she would even invite a photographer to take photos of us. So it was a really interesting moment, and I'm so grateful that when I got married, I met such a family who celebrate Christmas. They go out there to meet family and friends. I really love that culture, okay? Another moment that I remember so well was Sunday mornings. Guys, let me tell you something. Kwetu Sunday mornings ilikuwa vita. My sister can attest to that, because we used to love our sleep with my sister Pauline, because I know mom would want us to go to church together, ndio aende kiringa na sisi tulikuwa tunataka kulala. And I remember she used to wake us up in the morning na saka zip, anakuja anafungua mlango na wafunua, anawaambia bibi za governor bado mmelala, sleep, continue sleeping, your father is the president of Kenya. You know, just that African mom sarcasm, it was so hilarious, by the way. Yeah, but I guess she just wanted us to be Christians, to be staunch Christians, yeah. And I really appreciate that from her, and I think it's something that I'm going to pass over to my family in future. Tutakuwa tunaenda church like one happy family with matching outfits. Yeah, so another memory that I remember so well was our graduations. As I mentioned, guys, my mom loved celebrating milestones, okay? And I'm really thankful to God that God kept her long enough to be able to see our first graduations. I remember we had my sister's graduation at Golden Palm Hotel in Keno, and we had my graduation in 2018, August, at the Lux Hotel in Thika. So as we believe in celebrations, like if you know my family well, you know that we take milestone celebrations very, very, very like not lightly. Yeah, so she used to be there, tunaandika guest list, tunaandika nani anakuja, tunabai nguo mpya. I really liked that, and it's something that I'm also going to pass to my family. So some of the things that I know she was passionate about was education. Guys, my mom really liked us to go to the best schools. Tulienda shule zenye zote tuliitwa after primary and even after high school. So she really encouraged us to, you know, to put the best foot forward when it comes to education. I remember she encouraged my sister to get good grades, to go and pursue nursing and take after her, which is really nice. I'm so happy that my sister did not break that having a medic in the house chain, as I call it. I think I'm the one who disappointed her by not following that medic path. But she was not happy that I got an A, and I even had an A in all the sciences, but I didn't choose nursing. But when I chose to do a business course, she was so supportive. She told me to go to KU because it's near home, and I promised her that I'm going to get married to a doctor so that I don't break that having a medic in the house chain. And did I fulfill that wish for her? Please stick around till the end so that you can find out in my tribute, okay? So yeah, those are some of the memories. And I also remember when I was in campus, mom was really supportive. She really supported us when it comes to our education, okay? She paid all the school fees that she could. She gave us the best life when we were in college. Yeah, she was, you know, she was that good, okay? Another thing that she was so passionate about was mentorship. And when I say mentorship, not only to us, she also acted as a mentor to my friends. I remember there are a few of my friends who did nursing, and just because they were mentored by mom, yeah, she had a lot of impact, especially on young people. And I also remember even at her place of work, she used to encourage young people, both men and women, to avoid teenage pregnancies and to just be the best that they can, you know, so that they can be better people in the future. She used to ask, if we don't mold the young people now, what will happen to our future generations, okay? So that's something that I really appreciate, and she passed over that mentorship spirit to me, because I like talking to you know, people in high schools, people in primary, just telling them what they can do to make their futures better, okay? Another thing that mom really was passionate about was finances. She was a finance woman. I remember in her last place of work, because she was in charge of a dispensary, she went back to school to learn a bit about finance, how she can make a balance sheet, income statement, you know, how she can be able to balance accounts. So, and she was even passionate about saving and investing. And I think that's something we've really picked with my sister. So what are some of the lessons that I learned from my mom, Terry? So one of the lessons that I learned was education matters no matter what. And you're supposed to invest in your children, okay? I know some people usually say that nowadays, si lazima usome. Guys, do you see what happens to our politicians when you're just soma? They have the power, but they don't know how to use that power because they lack intelligence and then knowledge, okay? So no matter what, invest in good education for your children, okay? Another thing I learned is resilience. I usually see some people falling down and wanajipaka your dust, but when you fall down, what do? You have to get up, dust yourself up, and continue with the journey, because there's no room for giving up in this life, okay? Another thing that I learned from mom is that you should strive and marry right. I remember mom used to pray a lot for me and my sister to find very good partners who are supportive, partners who are not narcissistic, partners who are generally God-fearing. Yeah, that was one of her major prayer items, and we are a living testimony of mom's prayers, by the way. Me and my sister have found really good partners, and I'm really hoping that and praying that our marriages are going to last forever. Okay. Another thing that I learned from mom is that you need to be prayerful, and you're supposed to love God as a woman and as a man. We need to create future generations that are God-fearing, okay? So it's good to pray when you wake up, after the end of the day. It's good to pray for good health, for a good life. It's good to pray for progress in your life, in your career, and in your relationship, okay? Another thing that I learned from mom is that kindness will take you to places you've never been before. My mom was a kind woman. She used to do shopping for elderly people, for kids, for families that are needy. She used to give out half of her wardrobe each and every year. And that's something that I do each and every year. Like, if you're my friend, you know that I love being kind, and I love giving back to the society, and I love, just extending a hand of kindness. Is every kind act that you do, just know that God is going to repay you dearly for it, okay? Another thing that I learned from mom is that you have to do proper financial planning as a woman, okay? Wanasemanga, behind every successful man there's a woman, yeah? And as a woman, you have to learn how to plan your finances, and even how to plan finances for your husband. You're supposed to be the accountant of the family and the planner for your family, and make your husband the executor. Yeah, so it's good to do proper financial planning, because you're supposed to start investing and saving now for the future. Another thing that I learned from mom is that life is for the living. In as much as you're working hard, you're saving, you're investing, you need to live in the moment, okay? Because ukisave na wache pesa hapo, what will happen when you're gone? Other people will enjoy your money. So in as much as we are working hard for our families, you need to live in the moment, enjoy, travel, buy good things for yourself and for your house, okay? Another thing that I learned is you have to live an impactful life, because when you're gone, what are we going to remember about you? We are going to remember you from the good things that you did, okay? From the memories, the good memories that you left, okay? Your children are going to remember you because of the good ways that you showed them, okay? And as parents, as you have to set a good example for your kids, because my in-laws usually tell me that the things that they passed over to, for example, my hubby, these are the good things that they saw from their parents. So even us as parents, we are supposed to do good things and live as an example, so that what our kids are going to pick up are only the good things, and they are going to pass them to our future generations. So guys, those are the lessons that I learned from my mom, and I hope you've related with something. And finally, guys, I'm going to be reading a tribute to my mom on this International Mother's Day. So let's go. Yeah, guys, let me tell you something. When I was coming up with this episode, I cried a whole river. Is it a river really? Am I an ocean? Because no one prepares you for grief, and you can never be you can never get over from grief, really. And no one prepares you to live without a person that has brought you up for 24 years, for 40 years, for 50 years. So I really cried, guys. But anyway, it's okay. So a final note to my mom on Mother's Day. Dear Mama, it's been 6 years since you left us. I miss you every day, every Mother's Day, every birthday, every single time. Thank you for never giving up on me. Thank you for loving me dearly. I learned so much from you, and I hope to pass it over to my daughters and sons. You gave me the courage to face fears I made mistakes and you always corrected me, sometimes with some passionate whips. All my life, I have always wanted to become a better woman, a woman of substance, intelligence, a kind woman, and a woman who exudes self-confidence, because that's what you always wanted for me. I remember, Mom, you told me not to break that having a medic in the family chain, and I told you I would give you a doctor as a son-in-law. And guess what, Mom? I am married to one. He's kind, he's gentle, and he treats me right. You would love him. I hope I will continue making you proud every day. I never had the chance to express my love and admiration for you, but on this day, Mom, I celebrate, honor, and thank you for the wonderful lady, mom, and woman that you were. May you continue resting in eternal peace. Love, Wanjiku. Yeah, guys, so that's my tribute to my mom. I really still miss her, guys, because we used to do phone calls each and every day when I was in campus, and I don't know, I just thank God. Sometimes I find myself asking God questions as to why did he have to take her when she was that, I don't know, she was not old, and why did he have to, to just break that chain of us having someone to call, to cry with. But it's all right. Sometimes I take comfort in the fact that there are people who lost their parents when they were so young. So I'm grateful to God for having me, being able to spend the 24 years of my life with my mom. Yeah, but I still miss her so much. And guys, I wanted to encourage you to spend a lot of time with your parents, because you're going to miss them a lot when they're gone, and just give them their flowers when they're alive. Okay, yeah, so that's the end of today's episode. Please let me know, how are you spending this Mother's Day? Did you go to visit your mom? Are you spending it with your children? Please let me know. And children, what are you doing for your moms on Mother's Day? Please do for them something to make them feel special. I hope it's relatable for the people who do not have a chance to speak with their mothers today. I hope for the people who still have their moms, they're going to appreciate them more today. And that's the end of the episode. Please follow me on Instagram at Wanjiku __ Mungai, and at Live at the Moment podcast. And until the next time, guys, it's goodbye for now. Bye.
And I'll never forget